Imagine a place high up in the mountains of South India that feels like a total retreat from the world below. It's wrapped in mist, built around a star-shaped lake. Yeah, you're picturing Kodaikanal. Today, we're going to explore this amazing town, a place with a story you can feel in its old buildings and see in its incredible landscapes.
You know, they call it the Princess of Hills, and that's not just some cute nickname. It's really a promise. A promise of cool, crisp air, a welcome break from the city heat, and views so green and wide they look like they go on forever. It's a reputation that's been earned over a long, long time.
But let's be real, beyond all the pretty postcard pictures and that charming title, what's the actual story here? What does it really take to get to know its hidden spots? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out. To really get Kodaikanal, you have to rewind the clock a bit. The whole vibe of the place, the way it looks, the way it's laid out, it was all born from a single, simple need. It was an escape plan for British officials and American missionaries who just couldn't stand the sweltering heat down on the Indian plains. This timeline really shows you how deep Kodaikanal's roots go. I mean, the hills themselves were mentioned in ancient Tamil literature more than 2,000 years ago. But the town, as we know it, that really kicked off in 1845, when it was officially set up as a summer retreat. The real game changer, though, was in 1863. That's when they created the iconic lake, a man-made heart for the town that turned it from just a simple getaway into the legend it is today.
So, you're convinced, you're ready to pack your bags, but how in the world do you get to this mountain paradise? Let's break down the logistics of your journey.
Okay, so you've got a few options to get here. A lot of people fly into Madurai, and that 3-hour drive up the winding mountain roads, that's your first real taste of what's to come. Now, if you're taking the train, listen up. Kodai Road Station is not actually in Kodai. You've still got a beautiful but pretty significant 2.5-hour drive up the hill. And for many, just taking a bus or taxi from a nearby city is part of the adventure itself. Now, here is a super important insider tip, especially if you like to explore on your own terms. If you want the freedom of a scooter, you absolutely must rent it in a town at the bottom of the hills, like Dindigul, before you start climbing. You just won't find any two-wheeler rentals in Kodaikanal proper. So planning this ahead of time is the absolute key to being independent once you get there. All right, you made it. You've checked in. Now the real adventure starts. Let's kick off our grand tour of Kodaikanal's must-see sites. Every single trip to Kodaikanal has to start right here. This is the literal and symbolic heart of the town, the man-made, star-shaped lake. It's the central hub for everything. You can get out on the water in a little pedal boat, you can rent a bike and cycle the scenic 5-kilometer path all the way around, or you can even go for a classic horse ride along the shore. It's just the perfect place to slow down and really soak in the town's unique vibe. Just a short walk from the lake, you'll find the famous Coker's Walk. And don't think this is some big, strenuous hike. Nope, it's a lovely 1-kilometer paved path that basically hugs the edge of a cliff. On a clear day, the panoramic view of the plains, thousands of feet below, is just absolutely stunning. You seriously feel like you're walking on the edge of the world. Okay, let's hop in the car and head just outside the main town to what everyone calls the Forest Loop. It's a classic drive that connects 3 of Kodaikanal's most dramatic, most photographed natural wonders, all in one easy trip. First stop, Pillar Rocks. And they are exactly what they sound like. 3 massive granite pillars, just standing there, side by side, shooting up a sheer 400 feet from the forest floor. You'll often see them covered in mist, and as it slowly clears to reveal just how huge they are, well, the view is seriously awe-inspiring. Next up is a place with a really cool backstory. For ages, these deep, bat-infested ravines had a much scarier name, Devil's Kitchen. But then, in 1991, the hit movie Guna was filmed here, and just like that, the spot was reborn. Now everyone knows it as Guna Caves. But what makes this spot so captivating isn't just the caves themselves. It's the forest floor leading up to them. It's this tangled, mysterious web of massive, ancient tree roots crawling all over the ground. It creates this eerie, almost supernatural atmosphere that you just have to see to believe. The caves themselves are wrapped in mystery. Local legends say they're maybe 3,000 feet deep. But all this beauty comes with a lot of danger. After some tragic accidents years ago, you can't actually go into the caves anymore. So today, you get to experience this hauntingly beautiful spot from a safe viewing deck. Just a short drive from the drama of the caves, the whole mood changes. You'll find yourself in the peaceful pine forest. These trees were planted by the British over a century ago, and this quiet grove of tall, straight trees is the perfect place for a walk. Its unique, cinematic look has made it a favorite backdrop for filmmakers for decades. Of course, our tour has to include a few other key viewpoints. You've got Dolphin's Nose, which is this thin little piece of rock sticking out over a crazy deep chasm. Then there's Green Valley View, which has a jaw-dropping 5,000-foot drop. You'll quickly see why its old name was Suicide Point. And finally, there's a site that greets you on the way in and waves goodbye on the way out, Silver Cascade Falls, tumbling right down beside the main road. All right, after all that sightseeing, it's time to treat ourselves to some local culture. Let's talk about the unique foods and things you can try, and maybe take a little piece of Kodai home with you. A huge part of the Kodaikanal experience is its local products. You absolutely cannot leave without trying the homemade chocolates. Every little shop has its own special recipe. The hills are also full of eucalyptus trees, so a bottle of that fragrant oil is a classic souvenir. And keep an eye out for pure forest honey, fresh mountain plums, and the famously strong local garlic and spices. These are the tastes and smells you'll want to take home with you, for sure. Okay, to wrap things up, let's go over a few final, essential tips to make sure your trip is absolutely perfect. This is your know before you go checklist. All right, the million-dollar question, how much time do you actually need? How many days does it take to see all the good stuff without feeling like you're in a mad rush? The answer is pretty clear. 3 days. 3 days is the sweet spot. With 3 days, you can hit all the major sites we talked about, still have plenty of time to just chill by the lake, and really soak in the slow, relaxed vibe of the town. So when's the best time to go? Well, you have 2 great windows. The summer season, from April to June, is peak time. Everyone's escaping the heat, so the weather is lovely, but expect crowds. For super clear skies and a nice cool chill in the air, the winter months from October to March are fantastic. And here's one last pro tip. If you can swing it, go on a weekday. You'll miss the weekend traffic jams and get to experience a much more peaceful Kodaikanal. So we've covered the sights, the history, the tips, but Kodaikanal, it still holds on to its secrets. I mean, this place is home to the rare Neelakurinji flower, a flower that covers the hills in a sea of purple, but only blooms once every 12 years. It kind of makes you wonder, right? With a natural clock that patient, what other secrets are these ancient hills holding?